Hello and welcome back to iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. We are jumping right into another duel from the perspective of the Kensei. Now, before we get started, I want to make note, I am Reputation 2, my opponent is Reputation 0, level 16, but reputation levels do not correlate to your skill level, alright? This guy could be really good and he's just messing around with a new character, so I'm going into this with my head on my shoulders, ready for a battle. So with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's get into it. Round 1, this is a best of 5. Let's see if we can make something happen. Now we're starting next to some environmental hazards, which is always a bit of a tense moment. I'm going to break into a sprint and then roll out of the way, putting my opponent back against the hole. So that's going to give me a little bit of peace of mind and keep him a little bit more on his toes. You know, the Shugoki, he might be a very large character, but he is surprisingly agile. He is going to land the first hit and the second hit, dealing a lot of damage to me. He's not going to flinch when I hit him because of his super armor. That's going to allow him to trade blows pretty well. This Shugoki is a very intimidating character, not only because of his super armor, but those heavy hitting, charged, heavy attacks. He's going to throw it out and it is going to miss, but I'm pretty sure he's secure in his abilities. He knows he can counter guard break, so he's not even going to worry about it. And I did tap myself out of stamina there, just going to do a quick retreat to recover it. Then the Shugoki is going to throw out a zone attack, feint the second hit, and follow it up with a guard break that I did not counter. And it looks like, folks, this round is over. I know I've still got a little bit of health left. I know I've talked about being in the danger zone and the desire to survive, but I don't think even that willpower is going to be enough. No, it is not. I'm going to get smacked upside the head by that big-ass stick, and the first round is going to go to the big man himself. We're really going to have to change up our tactics if we want to walk away with anything, at least our pride. You know, if we get dominated 3-0, that's not going to feel good at all. But, you know, if we can at least take one round, we can kind of walk away happy, right? That's no, we shouldn't think like that. We should hope and pray that we come out on top with the victory. So round 2 has already begun and we're already taking a significant amount of punishment from the Shugoki, trying to guard break him, but he's swinging his light attacks, so they're not going to go through. But the first guard break is going to connect, followed up by a second guard break, starting to see those Kensei feints, and we're starting to see the real damage potential of the Kensei. We're landing another guard break, following it up with a heavy attack and a classic top heavy feinted to the side. So things are definitely going more in my favor this time. It looks like I definitely held back the majority of my abilities. What is this, Dragon Ball Z? I'm only showing 1% of my power? I have no idea, but that was impressive. We're coming back into this fight. The score is now 1-1 and round 3 is about to begin. We definitely got a groove going in that last round, so hopefully that momentum will carry over into this one. So let's see how it goes. Let's begin now. We're starting off sprinting towards one another. I am going to stop short, not going to use the sprinting attack. Shugoki going to throw out his zone attack, feinting it into a guard break. Again, I have fallen for that trick before, and I'm going to fall for it again, and he's most likely going to use it until it stops working. Using the zone attack, feinting it into a guard break of my own, and then using that classic top heavy attack feinted to the side, and it is going to connect. I did gas myself out of stamina. He's going to use a guard break. It's going to come up short. Then I'm feinting once again. There's a lot going on here, folks. I can't talk that fast, but I have done a significant amount of damage to my opponent, and one more swing is going to take him down. Definitely carrying over the momentum from the previous round, using the full roster of the Kensei's abilities to take him out, punishing him for his mistakes and just capitalizing on any opportunities that come my way. So round 4, we're back to that same map that same portion of the map that we lost at before. So hopefully that doesn't put us at a disadvantage. I'm definitely afraid of walking towards those holes against the Shugoki. He's going to do that same zone attack feinted into the guard break, but I'm wise to his tricks at this point, not going to fall for it, but I am still going to get hit upside the head. He's using that same trick once again. This is the 4th time he's done it, and at this point I'm not falling for his games anymore. But it looks like he does still have a few tricks up his sleeve. We haven't seen the demon's embrace before, so that is going to catch me off guard, and he is going to recover all of his health. So now I am at a pretty significant disadvantage. He's going to charge up his heavy attack, but feinted, but now I am definitely intimidated. I have an extra thing to worry about, and I have to worry about getting bear hugged by the big man. He's going to guard break me, toss me a little bit, trying to get the Demon's Embrace again, but it is not going to work. I'm going to dodge out of the way and punish him for it. But now we're on an even footing. I'm gassed out of stamina. He's just swinging, and all of his swings are connecting, and now the Shugoki, the big man himself, is out of stamina. I have him on the back foot, gonna feint my zone attack into a guard break and then just let that top heavy attack fly and cut off his damn head. So we are gonna walk away with the victory, but that was a hard fought battle. He definitely put in some serious work, even though he's only level 16, reputation 0. So that's a good time. But we're not over yet. We gotta have a little bit more fun today. Let's see what our next match is going to be. Boom, here we go. Our next opponent is a Valkyrie, and we are both reputation 2, which means we've both put in a similar amount of time into our characters, and we have that extra bit of mastery. So even though your reputation doesn't directly correlate to how good you are with the character, it does have the potential to determine whether or not you know all the tricks of a particular character. So let's get into it. Round 1 is about to begin. Now, as you already know, the first round of a match is always a bit of a feeling out period, trying to understand how your opponent plays and how you can best play against them. Going to feint an attack, and it is going to be quickly followed up by a side dodge attack, throwing out the top heavy unblockable. Not even going to bother feinting it, just trying to see what my opponent's response is, and her response is a parry. So I'm definitely going to have to use my feinting abilities if I want to come out on top. Going to dodge the sweeping attack and follow it up with a nice little bop on the head from that helm splitter, using the zone attack and the super armor that it provides to get some damage out. A nice even trade, following up with a guard break later on. And now we have reset to a bit of a neutral position. The action got pretty intense. That's the thing about the Valkyrie. She is a very fast character, and when she gets going real good. And she is going to walk away with the victory in the first round. This is going to be interesting, though. The Valkyrie has a lot of mix-up potential. She has so many different moves that can be chained together in different ways, so you always have to think to yourself, what is she going to do next? Does she have a pattern? Is she going to block? Is she going to parry? Is she going to deflect? Is she going to dodge? All of those are viable options for defense on the Valkyrie, and it looks like my opponent is going to go for the dodging attack, getting caught in a very similar situation that I was in the first round. This is not looking good. Sending out 2 light attacks, and the second one is going to get parried, and I'm going to get punished for it. So already, this is a very quick round. I'm at a low HP already, feinting a heavy attack into a guard break, landing a little bit of punishment on me. I'm in that danger zone. I'm a little bit more determined to win, but I don't know if my determination is going to be enough here. I'm just taking heavy attacks. You know, if I was really about my business right now, I would have parried that. Gonna land a successful helm splitter, so maybe there's an opportunity to catch up. No, there is not. I'm gonna get caught with a guard break while I was in the dodge, and when that happens, the guard break is untechable. I'm gonna fall. So it's an uphill battle at this point. There's a lot of potential right now that this could be a 0-3 victory for my opponent, but if we can unlock the full potential of the Kensei, similar to what we saw in the previous match versus the Shugoki, then we'll come out on top. So we're rushing in, doing a sprinting attack. It is not going to connect. Going to block the second attack in her light attack chain, following it up with a guard break, landing a heavy attack, second guard break, then throwing out that top heavy unblockable. We took her from maximum health to her final segment. Then we're going to follow that up with another guard break, and we're taking a round back. We're getting that momentum. The Kensei definitely thrives on momentum, especially when you start getting into those advanced feinting techniques. My goodness. You know what? Let's put on some epic music right here, because things could get intense. If we win round 4, then round 5 is going to be the decider, and that could be pretty damn intense. So let's get into it. We're sprinting forward again. We're not going to go for the sprinting attack this time, but looks like we're trying to do a little bit of feinting, trying to get some, elicit certain responses from my opponent, but she's not taking the bait just yet. Going to back away, create a little bit of space. The Kensei definitely thrives at a slightly longer range than some of the other characters. Going to use a zone attack, canceling it into a guard break, and then landing a heavy attack. But we are a bit low on stamina, so we're not going to do too much, but we are going to get a successful guard break, feinting to the side with that classic top heavy unblockable, and then we're landing a third guard break, and we're going to cut the damn head off this time. My goodness. So we've got one more round. If we can take this one, we are going to come out on top. Look at that body on the floor. That is not a pretty sight. Somebody needs to come and clean this up. Seriously. So here we go. The final round. Let's get into it. Man, For Honors, it's a really interesting game. You know, it's not nearly as fast as some of the other fighting games like Street Fighter, but there's a certain level of intensity. It's kind of like the golf of fighting games. You know, things are slow, things are deliberate. There's not as many actions, there's not as many moves, but every single move is vitally important to your success. And right now, the Valkyrie is putting on some serious moves. I'm getting caught with that sweep. It looked like I did try to dodge, but I got stopped by the environment, so that is a bit unfortunate. I am at a deficit at this point. Doesn't look like I have too much momentum at the moment. Trying to get in there, landing a successful helm splitter, trying to close that gap a little bit. I'm getting caught, but I am going to land the first parry of the game, following it up with a guard break. I'm going to let the top heavy fly, but that was not a good idea. My opponent is definitely good at the parries. I dodged out of the way of the sweep, but at the cost of too much stamina. I am now gassed out completely. She is going to miss a guard break. This is the only opportunity I'm going to get to come back. I canceled out my attack, and I am not going to walk away with the victory. I should have just let that heavy attack fly, and I might have been able to do something with it, but unfortunately, the final round is going to go to the Valkyrie, and there's a damn fire truck outside ruining everything. But that's okay. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kensei. It's definitely a very... I should wait for the truck. Fucking hell. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a series of duels from the perspective of the Kensei. It's a very fun class, and it has a lot of potential to really dominate, especially once you learn a few more of the nitty-gritty tricks of this character. He's very, very intimidating, very fast, and very powerful. So, as always, the name of the game is iBluairJgR. What the fuck? The name of the game is For Honor. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.